Hello, peeps. As promised, another live show. Well, it's Sunday and it's raining, and you know I love my me time already. And I did a good amount of me time because I just say, wash my hair, bathe. It's raining outside, so I had to do it early, so I don't go to bed with my wet hair as usual. And since it's so cold in the night, it feels like England. When I used to live in England, and it's always raining outside, and everywhere is so wetty, wetty. Yeah, the time feels like England again. Let me turn down this TV. It's black people show. Black guys just having a ball with his pizza and space. I enjoy watching those things. I don't know. I'm that type of person that likes to be happy, likes to find joy in things that makes me smile. I look for the things and try and find the funny part of it. I'm never like always wanting to find the negative. I'm not that type of person where, everything I do, I try and find a fault or I try and criticize it. It's just not me. It's so strange that, my partner seems to have that kind of tendency about him. Anytime he's doing something, he always looks on the negative as well, as the positive. But if I am so positive all the time, he will draw on the negative. So I guess it kind of balances us out. Speaking to him earlier, he was sharing his passion about politics, and it's something that I have never ever thought of participating, thinking about, or anything. But because the Lord has brought him into my life, he keeps cropping up this politics things. It gives me a headache because, all my life I've ignored it. I've blocked it out. I've tried everything to take myself away from that focus. Even when people say, Chrissy, you need to participate more. I remember doing a course by Shortwood Teachers College that prepared me to oversee the whole voting process. And the tutor though said, you know, if you go in the volatile area, you're going to get more money. So, and I say, so I'm like, so tell me what the volatile areas consist of. Let me see if I really, because this is when I'm young, and you're just starting out. You have young kids and you have to try and be this independent thing because I'm a single parent and all the stresses of life. So I say, what does it entail? And then you see, they're saying, oh, they get to stay in hotel and but the point is that when you go in there, sometimes gunmen come in on you and them stick you up and you have to give them the ballot box and they are telling you how to prepare and whatever. And I'm like, when I'm hearing the government thing, I say, it's all right. I think I will do the poor thing. I will go in the not so volatile area where I would love to get the money, but boy, I don't really think I want to go expose myself to get no gunshot to just for little money. Mm-mm. Me not so desperate. It's all right. So the politics thing wasn't really an interesting thing to me, but whenever voting time comes, it is always something that is shoved into your face from media and maybe some people around you. And so you cannot really get rid of a situation that concerns everybody, including you, because people wants to hear what you think too and what is happening. And some people are scared. And if you get the ability and the knowledge to can share with people about, survival and everything of life with life doing, then maybe it's a way of helping them to not feel so afraid. Um, Talking with Huzzy this morning and he's sharing to realize, I don't know if he was in preference for POTUS Trump, but as I said earlier, I met some people who was in preference of POTUS Trump, And they loved the Trump even with all his rudeness and his dramas that he went on with. And I'm just saying, how can you prefer a man to represent a whole set of billions of people who, when he represents them, he is hurting the same people he's representing? I can't see that logic to it. So, on discussions and understanding, I'm hearing that all the white men, or most of the white men, are affiliated with the KKK club in America, which is the Ku Klux Klan, modernized, modern day generation people don't know about Ku Klux Klan. If they went to school and studied history, maybe they might get an idea watching Black History movies and stuff like that. They might have experience, get to see what the people were experiencing from the KKK back in the days. So when they're telling me that black people is, them say we fool because we're jump for another white man who is also a part of the KKK, and I'm like, you know what? This is modernized day, and people change, and I don't know what is the intention of true intention of Joe Biden, but we put our trust in God. And if we pray, God will answer prayers. He has been a miracle worker all our lives, all my life. I don't know about other people and their testimonies, but God has been my savior because, as I say, I had to figure out how to survive into the world without using politics. People say politics give them hands out and preference in living their life and big them up to make them rich or whatever like that. Well, I didn't get that kind of experience living because, as I say, I didn't choose the politics thing. I just did that thing that we learned, that if you teach a man to fish, he shall eat all the days of their life. If you just keep giving them handouts, then when the handouts stop, what gonna happen? Them gonna dead for hungry. So it's a part of my mom's teaching, as well as school and other kind of teachings I get from traveling the world and learning in my educational environments, where they said, teach a man to fish and you shall eat all the days of your life. Teach a man to take handouts. When handouts done, he's gonna die for hunger. Or he might forget turn to criminality because you never teach him how to do something. So when people are panicking about this politics thing and how we fool because we're voting people that is not even good intention, and Trump was a better bet because he is good intention, and him did want support Oprah Winfrey and black people and all them things. But I'm just confused. I'm just saying, so if all these white people are affiliated with KKK and KKK is not in existence today, then that means, say, God answer prayers. When black people was praying, say, get rid of the KKK, dear Lord, get rid of them. Then somebody prayer must have been answered, and it had to be the black people because they wanted to get rid of them. Today, I don't see where the KKK is evident doing their thing. I don't know if they're doing it in America. I don't live in America, I live in Jamaica. So I wouldn't experience, I wouldn't know. But to hear some people's worries and scares and fears, let me just say, oh Lord, have mercy on them. And I am with you, and I'm trying to listen, and I'm trying to understand. And like how my husband can't understand some things I say to him because of different socialization, culture, and upbringing, is the same way he doesn't even understand some things that I say. But I am learning, because if God brings him to me, then that means there's something that I need to learn that I haven't been learning, and it's calling me. And that's just how I live my life. I live my life with spiritual interventions, the spiritual guide. Sometimes I go into some dangerous places and I don't even know that I'm in dangerous places until I come out of it. And it's the same very people that they're telling me, stay away from, not go near them, and this and that are the same very people who helped me into those dangerous places that I ended up being. Sometimes I don't even know the name of the place. So, sweethearts, poor me. I say prayers, and God always guide and lead me to a triumphant position or where I needs to be in life because I developed that kind of trust in Him. And if you develop that kind of trust in your Lord, there's nothing you can do wrong. Because if you're going to do something wrong, He's going to intervene to turn it around positively in your favor because He knows you're His child. And you have good intentions. You have good intentions within your heart as well for other people. So I'm just saying, if you guys are those who feel that, it's a bad choice because they wanted POTUS Trump in a position so much, I am just saying, how can the whole world be wrong? Because Trump has hurt so much people, and there in the way he comes about doing things, yes, he might not be able to hide around the bush and be secretive, and it's wrong to, keep things inside deviously. That time you want, you have some hypocritical friends when instead of them talk out what you're doing, or if they're hurting what is happening, them keep it inside and pretend them like you. That time them stabbing you in your back, because as soon as you turn your back, they go away from them, or you go away from them, they're telling other people, don't make them come near you, them no good, don't help them, and all sorts of negatives, and mash them up, try mash them up. I mean, that is hypocritical because you have somebody in your life who is pretending to like you, but they keep silent, and you don't even know that they're there in your life wanting to find out your business to done you, wanting to find out your business to mash you up. You understand? And you have so many people like that in this world that it aches me, and that is why I don't trust human beings. I trust God, because only God knows the people that comes around me, what their intention really is, and He knows how to fix their business so that I can still be protected against their evils and their evil doings. So sometimes when I say I block them out, I let it go, it's because I have to keep my focus on my God to protect me and guide me and show me which way to go, show me how to stay away from those dangers of people who is going to try and tear me down, ruin me, and destroy me. And God has been so great to me so far. Everybody I met, every partner I get, every person that comes to me is always about, Chrissy, I want to help you. You having any problem? Let me try and help you with something. And even if they can't help me, they say they're willing to help me. So I don't know if the intention is good or bad. Sometimes they try to help me and them end up breaking my things. And yes, I get mad. I say, you come to help me, you mash me up, you mash up my things. Now I have to buy this back, and I have to buy that back, and it costs a lot of money. And it took me a long time to save up to buy that particular thing, and now you broke it. And I'm hurt. But as I say, people, I try to keep focus on God and ask Him to guide me and to help to send those people in my life who is really for me and can help me to accomplish my goals and reach where I want to reach in this life journey. Because I am here, and I'm here for you too. I'm not just here for myself. But if I reach out to help you and I see where you're dragging me down to drown me, I have to let you go. Just imagine you're in a swimming pool. No, swimming pool, bad example. Imagine you're in the sea, the ocean, and sailing, and the boat turn over with you and your friend. Now, you manage to climb on top of the boat because the boat turned over. So it's upside down. So you manage to climb on top of the boat. So you're on the top of the boat. And your friend is fluttering away in the ocean. And you said, you're going to reach over to help your friend up. So this is me. I'm going to reach over to help my friend to come up on the boat so we can save each other from drowning. But when I reach my hand over for my friend insists, say, that person is going to pull me off into the ocean with them. Now, what do you think I would do? What do you think you would do? No, let go. You have to let go. It's common sense. You can't believe that you can save everybody because you don't know what is their intention. You don't know what they are thinking when you elevate them to a position of where you are. And even if you had tried to elevate them before and they demonstrated to you that, oh, I am not for you, you know. You help me and you big me up and you put me up there on a pedestal. But in truth, I wish you could have just did. I wish I could have just mashed you up as, I mean, sweetheart, what you think God are gonna do? Especially to a praying person who he was the one that chose to elevate for his will. Him not have to let them go too. Because I'm going to say that person in that person's life is not meshing. That person's hate and anger is too much for that person who I have blessed and elevated to a certain position. Yeah? That person can't come join that person in a nothing. Because that person are going to want to kill the very person that is my chosen child. My child of God, the person who, because if I am praying to God to help me, to help me, to help me, and he's the one helping me, to helping me, to help me. And then another person is praying, say, them want help to, them want help to. You think God is going to bring them come join and lay saying with you, who he has elevated and protected all his life? Just think about it. Just think about it. It's the reality of things. Our God is real. God is real. And everybody is praying who believes in God and who are true believers and who are thankful. Now, if God is the one that chose you to be wealthy or to be up there to represent the people or to lead or whatever, he's not going to, if you keep praying, because you have to keep praying and inviting the Holy Spirit into your life every day, every morning, every evening on a regular basis, because especially if you're interacting with people on a regular basis, people who you don't really know, you don't really trust, but they still have to be in your life. You just pray and ask God to guide and protect you. Therefore, whatever evils they're doing around you can't come upon you because you're protected by the Most High. You're so protected by the Most High that when they're doing it, even if it's something bad to tear you down, God going to find a way to put you in a different position. He's going to either have to take you away from them and leave them alone in their own squalors. You understand? Because that is how he protects his people who he has chosen to do his will. And those people who have submit themselves to God to say, okay, I'm here to serve you, Lord. Do as you please. Show me what you want. Help me and, and let me do your will here on earth. So, people, if our God sees that somebody is there with an intention to hurt you, the praying person, nothing can happen to you with God into your life, even if it's to take your life, because you can't even fear death when you worship God. You can't even fear death, because if God say him not ready for you, you're not dead, you're not going nowhere. You're gonna stay there same way. When you look, you live till all 100, because is God has the last word to say if you're going to be dead, if him need to take you out of this world, or You're still serving his purpose. You're still doing his will. So him not ready for you yet. So you're going to still be doing his will. So when the paranoia of, oh, how dare they put in another white man, and Trump was a better white man than this white man, and the whole nagging in my head, I'm like, listen to me. If Trump was doing what the people, even a tidbit of what they expected him to do when he was voted in, you understand? He wouldn't have the whole so many people against him today. It's because of he went in with the vibe of, I am now in charge and I can just wheel out as much evils as possible into the world, and there is nothing nobody can do about it or say about it to me, because I am the richest man in the world and I have so much power and I can do this and do that, according to Trump. Now, so him going, right? But Biden, no, yes, him is a middle class man, and he's going to come in now with his humble way of saying, I am now the leader, and I'm going to try my best to do what is expected of me. So, because he was more socialized with the middle class way, it is more appropriate to put him into that position, because he knows what it is like to experience that sufferation or that earning. How do I earn? How do I survive? And whatever. So he can maybe even relate to the poorer class of people into the country to say, this is how I get up there. This is the journey I had to take. Because this is what the people need. The people need to learn how to fish. The people need to learn how to access whatever abilities they have inside them in order to survive, because God gifted everybody a talent. So therefore, as I was saying, when Jose and I was talking this morning and we're sharing, well, him talk very loud, so the phones can't really stay too close to my phone, and then my conference thingy was not really doing a good sharing on my Facebook, so it's not like we could have a proper conferencing talk over it to even share with you guys. So eventually I have to try get those things set up. But as I say, most of the time I'm busy growing um, business and keeping things together, because I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I'm a part of a family unit that calls for my attention at times. So I am just saying, keep the faith, and Mr. Biden will know how to guide his people more to say, you have to gradually work your way up, because as he was sharing his journey, he had to marry 2 times to have a successful life. It's very few people you see marry the first time or one time and hit it successfully right away. It's a journey we go through. Yeah? It's a growing journey. So in everything, you have to evolve in order to get to where you need to get to in on the success ladder. But most people, especially some of these Jamaican people who don't have the patience to wait, especially new generation people, they don't have the patience to wait, because all they want to do is get rich overnight, because they think that is how it goes, and because the type of teaching they get from, I don't know who, but other people say, if you are rich, you are in charge of everybody, and you can pay everybody to do anything for you. In other words, if you want to see a man dead, you're going to pay him to die, to kill a next man, and he will gladly take it because he's so desperate for money. And all these little rubbish little things I'm hearing. But sweethearts, I'm not so rich, go. You hear me? Rich is something that is inert. It is inside of you. Yeah? The gifts and the talents that God blesses us with is what, when I was studying the concept of culture capital. Yeah, I don't know how many of you can understand and relate to that, but there's a thing called culture capital within each and every one of us. We have to learn to develop that capital, because that is where we as an individual, a person, can earn. So there's no way anybody in this world can be poor if you get in tune with your cultural capital. That is that ability that's within you. So therefore, as I was sharing with my husband, you can't ever be poor because you have culture capital. That is something that somebody has to pay you for all the time to do things. The reason a person get poor is because they don't do nothing. So when people wondering, oh, we're going to be poor and we're poor and the whole panic about poor and being poor is because they're not working and they're not using in a culture capital. So they're not most poor. Stupid. That you see why when make me come in like me a Donald Trump, because only Donald Trump would be calling the people them stupid, fool, all sorts of derogatory something. But it annoys me sometimes when I hear people giving me a headache about, you know, voting the wrong people and them are gonna make we poor and them this and them. I'm like, oh Lord. We have to go back over this again to let the people them understand. You cannot be poor. You are poor only if you do nothing, if you don't work. So the key to making money and to being wealthy is to do something, to work. When you do something, money comes in. People pay you for your talents and your gifts that you share with them, especially if them know that you don't have it. If people know that you're needing of money, because God blessed you with a talent and you're kind enough to share it with other people, you can't pour. You can't pour, sweetheart. So you need to stop it. Stop the fretting. Stop the frustration, according to some Jamaican talking. Stop it. It's impossible. All you have to do is keep the focus. And don't cuss and say that some of them are still cussing about we voting what you call it, what our new guy named Mark Golding. Yeah. They being hesitant and about the whole of them is the same, and what they say about Andrew Holness is this, and I'm like, listen to me now, listen to me now. The whole thing of those thinking that we're doing wrong and we're voting in wrong people, and try and think of what was happening when we had to vote in, when the people had to vote in Andrew Holness as our POTUS, as our Prime Minister, right? So much thinking and chatting. Getting me tongue-tied. Sorry about that. My apologies. When Andrew Holness was doing his politics, remember that the PNP was falling apart. They were malfunctioning. You understand? According to me, PNP was malfunctioning. They were fighting one another. They were warring. They come on the TV and show how them. I'm like, listen to me now. Even if I was a PNP at the time, maybe I would have jumped on Andrew Holness' team to the way how I would have frightened. Because I wouldn't believe that I would be in a house whole of people and them fighting against one another. Because in a home, it's supposed to be a loving environment. And if you cannot see eye to eye with another person, you should leave. Because that's what I do when I see that if I am in a home and you are in the home and you have to be in the home can't have two queens or it can't have two kings. You understand? So it has to have one leader, one boss. And if it so happens that there's a tug of war of who is the actual boss in that home, then the person who wants to be boss has no place there. So it don't make sense to stay there and intimidate the other members of the family. It does not make sense you stay there and try and in the background sneakingly try to manipulate and destroy things that the queen or the boss is actually trying to build within that home. Because everybody going to know that you are the only person that is opposing what is happening. And if you are in there, then is must you doing it. Yes, common sense again. So that's why I'm saying if I am into that, if I was into that political thing thinking, and I want to know if I made the right choice by putting back Andrew Holness in the position, just think back. So when people tell you rubbish and mess up your mind to say if you do something wrong and you fool and you have no sense and whatever, think again and you can know if you fool or you have sense or if you don't have sense for true. Because some people do things to intimidate you to make you feel lesser of the brilliant person that you are. Now, the other party having a war, then I must Andrew Holness you can vote for. Because I would be scared if I am going to vote a warring party to lead my government. Because the leader is supposed to represent their people. So when Donald Trump now, I am going to go back to Donald Trump, right? Because according to them, they say, is America governing Jamaica? Yeah? And whatever happens to America happens to Jamaica. So if they put in another KKK man, then we're going to be getting the same repercussions like what Donald Trump was dishing out. But I am just saying there was nobody else to vote for in the political scenarios going on over there. It was those two last people. One. Two, Donald Trump had showed his colors up front. So if you have a whole, some billions of people, and half of them is accepting of Donald Trump, and the other half is not accepting of Donald Trump, yet he won a chance to represent the totality of the people. And in representing the totality of the people, he was still demonstrating that he was for just some of the people that he represented. Now that not sound like rubbish to you? To me, it kind of sounds silly, because I am just saying, if you are the leader, you have to demonstrate that you're going to represent everybody. So you can't separate, you can't see color, you can't see race, you can't see creed, you can't see nothing like that. Religion, you can't see. You're supposed to be a mutual instrument. Remember our bodies. Think back as in the days of birth, as a baby, we're born so pure, so pure. So when you are going to be the leader of a country, you're supposed to have that pure thing about you. And then you're filled in with information of what is happening within that country, of which you're going to now analyze the results of what other persons, your team members, and even others in the opposing team put forth to you as a solution and you weigh upon it too and make the best choice. It's it sounds simple how I put it, but I didn't study political science, but with my little higher studies and stuff, and we had to do team leadership at university and all those things. So I basically have an idea of what leaders, and I had to do a course in leadership skills and techniques and whatever. So I basically learn, and I have an idea of what leaders are expected to do, and what it entails. But that's, as I said before, that's never really my focus when I became in leadership position. Is that I think it was just God ordained, because people just kept on disappearing, disappearing, disappearing from my life. And in order to stay alive, I had to just take over and lead. I had to just lead. And I had to just do what had to be done to make things continue to work. And if I see somebody coming in to destroy what was already there, what was already built, I would say, well, this was already here and it was doing this way, and you can't really do that. And then they would realize, that might make a mess of this or that might make a mess of that. And then I say, well, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to mash up what is already there, or you're trying to expand upon it and make it better or make it bigger and grow? So therefore, I just end up in that kind of position because of the amount of work I was doing and holding things together to make it happen while everybody disappeared out of my life. It was scary to know that when they're calling me, say, Chrissy, you need to come and migrate you need to be in America with us and in America with us. Babies, I lived in England for 3 years. Yeah, I lived in America for not too long, but several months out of the years. I travel back and forth and stuff. And I am like, I prefer Jamaica. I like the climate. Who is that? Carl Akbar saying, speaking the truth is not an offense. I know, Carl. That's what I'm saying. It's not an offense because we have freedom of speech and we are supposed to speak the truth, yes? But what I am saying, the position that Donald Trump was placed um, in America, when he was speaking the truth of what his KKK group people thought of immigrants and black people was too hurtful. Yet America was built on immigrants. America was built by black people. It's the enslavement. It's the enslavement. So the truth is gonna hurt. It would hurt anybody. So, but I think he did not put himself in a human like way to consider the feelings of the people of who he represented, that they actually had feelings. He thought some of them were just as robotic as he was, because he, to be a leader of such magnitude where he's operating the Trump Tower and building Las Vegas and all that, sometimes as a leader you end up being kind of robotic, because sometimes when I get a whole lot of things to do, I become robotic and I take out feelings out of it. And I'm like, if I'm going to make this business work, I can't go into thinking about what is happening in your home with your family, because I need to get this job done now. And I will be like telling my people that is on my team that's supposed to be doing their work, listen to me. You leave your problems from your home at home. When you come through the door, it's work time, it's my work time. I have to pay you to do whatever you're doing. So I don't want to hear no nonsense, no attitude or whatever you're having. Just do the work. So I end up sometimes maybe get robotic too. But so I can see with Donald Trump scenario when he does that. But you just can't do that to a whole just think about it now. America is billions of people. And all over the world is billions of people. And just remember, the majority of people are poor people, humble people, naive people, because as I was discussing, my husband always beating up on Babylon system. Babylon system, so I'm gonna share a little bit of Babylon system. Babylon system is to educate the people to be obedient to the higher authorities and to follow the rules of what society gives off. Because as I share, politics is like a game too. The thing is, it's a game that the whole world plays because it is expected that every country in the world should have a representative. They should have a leader that is speaking on behalf of their people. Because if they don't have a leader that is speaking on behalf of their people, that is how people like Christopher Columbus come and talk about he discovered Jamaica and they were going to take over and they start killing off people. So yes, sweethearts, we really need someone to represent the people well of every country. And they have time because it's a game we play, it's a game Babylon system plays. It's that structure where there's time now where they all learn how to communicate with each other, and then they're gonna come together at a summit, meeting summit, something like Caribbean summits, world summit. They have all sorts of summits, to humbly put it or easily put it in the uneducated way. It's little meetings, little workshops they have with the leaders of each country, and they come together and share with one another what is happening on the international scene worldwide. And they also get to share some issues of priority that is in their country, whether in the Caribbean or whatever. So it's all a structure. I wrote this book. I wrote my book, One World, One Body, which touched on we're living in a world of sets and subsets, and if you know mathematics, they always have how much type of sets into it. Well, it's something similar to that. So in the world we have sets into sets into sets, subsets, and all that. So when people are wondering what is happening and why all this diversity and this and that and the warring and the fussing, it's just because there are so many different types of sets of people belonging to a different set. So for instance, you might say, okay, let me try an example with Joe Biden. They say he is KK associate. So therefore, he will be in the set of with Donald Trump because he is also a KKK associate. Yeah? But at the same time, he's also a set with Kamala Harris, who is also black person representing Caribbean. Well, she doesn't say black, She mentioned that she's mixed breed. So she is a mixed breed Caribbean person because she's born in Jamaica. She represents India and Africa, right? So therefore, Joe Biden now is a part of her set too because he also believes in what she believes in as a mixed colored person in what to implement in their country, America. So Kamala now is not fully Joe Biden's set because he is no on which one? You just made that comment. Let me see which one because I'm rambling on and on and on. But as I said, Kamala is not totally in for Joe Biden because she couldn't be a part of the KKK group. So that means she's in a different set from him. No, my family. No, my family what? Speaking the truth is not an offense. No, my family. I'm trying to make link. Is it something that I had said in the in my live feed, or You're just saying no to your family, that you're not believing in Kamala being Caribbean and in a different set from Joe Biden and his KKK club. What do you think? Because I don't think the KKK club can allow a black person in there. It's a club only for white people. So that's a sect. That's a group of people. It's just like every in the world you have churches, you have lesbian and gay group, you have set. Let's say the sets we're talking about, right? So you have all these sets: lesbian and gay group set. You have religious group set. You have um bad guy criminal set. You have hardworking people set. Yeah, it's so much sets. It's infinite. It's infinite. We can't name the amount of sets that's out there in the world. But the point that I'm trying to make is that once you keep focus on God and say your prayers, no matter where you end up with who or whatever, they can't hurt you. They can't hurt you because God has brought us to here. Just think about it. You have black people today own up this and own up that, and they take they take the education of what government teach you. They take the education of what society teach them because some people didn't even go to school. I've seen where they say Rastafarians come out on top as well too. There are some Rastas that can put it together. So therefore it is the individual I see. It is the individual that is going to make themselves a better person and can make this world a better place. So if you're gonna choose a leader, I'm saying loser, loser, loser. If you're gonna choose a loser for your leader, no. If you're gonna choose a leader, you should think about the type of leader that will represent you well when they're going out there to speak with other leaders from other countries. Now the Donald didn't pull that one off too well, which gave America and the rest of the world a wake up call. Yeah? Some wealthy people, remember he was brought up wealthy, and some wealthy people are just too spoiled because the parents pamper them, the parents shower them with a lot of things, so they don't really have to put up with a lot of things from other people, especially if they don't even agree. They know they can take care of themselves. Donald was doing that kind of scenario with America as if he thought the America was a private entity of which he could separate himself and the White House from the rest of the people. Which it doesn't work like that because the White House belongs to America. It belongs to the rest of the people of America. So therefore, he could not have believed what he was doing and the way he was behaving would have pulled it through to get a second term with them. The poor American people, them, even though he might be doing some good deeds or whatever, because of him being in there and shining, he made black people have to work so much harder to fight on, to make the things better, because what a piece of stress the man put everybody through. But I mean, I guess something like that had to give them a wake up call. So that's why I must say, God knows what he's doing. He know when to wake up in people, he know when to call them, he know when to slip them in to give each person an opportunity to do their share of work. So there's no need to be panicking and worrying about, oh Lord, they put in another KKK man and he's gonna, and oh Lord, is Andrew Holness is panicking us, and Andrew Holness was the only person that could have been representing Jamaica at the state that we saw the PNP party was going at. They were embarrassing themselves by warring and fighting. And you can't do that. What the hell? It's annoying. It's annoying to see people. Jah is the light and the election. That's right, Carl. You love that Rasta thing, Jah, Jah Rastafari, God. Well, yes, yes. It's basically that's how Rasta relates. They relate the God they call God Jah. And as I was telling my husband, I have to learn his terminologies on the words he used because, as he says, the way they socialize, they're not socialized into using Babylon system because they understand that Babylon system is supposed to corrode the mind in thinking the way that our system wants the individual to think so that they can give them instructions and make them follow it out militantly. Yeah? So I understand the perception of education and what is its purpose for mankind. Because to have so many people into the world and imagine you can't even communicate with them or control them, that would be scary. So Babylon system is very necessary, people. Yeah? Because we need to can have a mutual understanding. We need to can communicate and share with people all over the world some form of commonality. Yeah? And it was demonstrated even when POTUS Trump was in power that there was, because of Babylon system, there was a form of commonality amongst the people. Because the majority of people lash out and say, where this man come from? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Didn't you remember? They were Donald Trump terrorized the whole world. So therefore, Babylon system education has worked because it was not just the American people that was being traumatized. Jamaica as well. I remember the UK people was like, no, he's not coming here. The royals was like, oh no. And I think he did um some diss up of the queen too. I think some things he was doing that was not appropriate. So up to they noticed that the Korean leader he was gearing up to deal with him too, because he recognized. So even though they speak different language and um and they're in different places, the educational system have some kind of common ground in the way that is expected for leaders to behave and the things they are supposed to do when they are representing a nation of people or a set of people or a group of people. So I'm just saying, I don't think there's nothing to worry about, people. Prayers. God is the answer. Yeah? And nobody said me try recruit people for the church. I hear that too often. Sweetheart, you don't have to go to church if you're uncomfortable in it. But God answers prayers from even within your home, within your living room, within your bedroom. God answers prayers if you say your prayers. Yeah, my husband never used to go to church. He was a Rastafarian, but he always prayed. And he always prayed. And when I know, Babylon system girl, was having my little trials in the community where, people wanted to pick on me or whatever because they thought I'm a single woman and, I'm doing my thing and, I am busy doing my thing, then they were busy doing their thing of what they learned, which is criminality. And that's why I'm saying, as the leader of the country, if the people are learning criminal activities, then I believe it is the leaders them that is setting that kind of example for them to feel that criminal activity is okay. So how are our leaders going to not let our new generation choose to become criminals. You have to teach them how to fish. That's how you go. If you teach a man to fish, he fish for his life, rest of his life. If you give them handouts, then when things tight up and them are going to turn criminal, them have to go rob and thief. As I was talking to Huzzy too, another point he had drawn on with me in our discussion is that the pure people values is confused because all of them is thinking they have to be rich. Sweetheart, it's impossible for everybody in a whole country to be rich. Rich is in the mindset. So I mean wealthy rich, financial rich. Rich is in the mindset because you have to have place value. The wealth you place value is within yourself. Yeah? So from you have a new generation coming up. You have to teach them how to value themselves. Because wealth is within the individual. It is the individual that creates the funds, the capital. The money can't come without you, the person. So teach the youths right now, Jesus. I'm tired of telling you guys. You guys, you're going to make me crack up, and it's not funny. Because whenever I laugh, people get upset. They're saying she's laughing at us. But you guys do these things, and then when it is called up on again, I have to say, what the heck? Why would I do that? So Huzzy is like, you see what I mean? It's some idiotism things are going. And then him have to start speaking his Jamaican vernaculars, which is some cuss words. And I know when he starts with those type of things, he even throws me off too. Because sometimes I'm like, when he starts talking and then I hear the curse words coming, I told him my mind get distracted. Because now when I hear the curse words, because we socialize, Babylon system educated us to socialize. When we hear curse words, we must watch our back and think about what dangers is coming onto us. So when he must talk and sharing his perception and him using the curse word, my brain chip now and stop listening to him and start wondering, I wonder what happened, if everything all right. And by the time I go back, it throw me off. So that's why I say, sweetheart, the curse word, sometimes you have to ease up off of it if I'm going to understand, if you're going to make me understand some of the things that you're really trying to say to me. But as Huzzy say, the person needs to know that the person is the wealth. The value is placed on the human beings. And that's why our lives are so important. That's why we have to try and take care of ourselves to ensure that we are all right, because wealth comes from within us. So we are what you call culture capital. We walk around with culture, especially Jamaican people. Jamaican people generate the highest culture capital around the world than any other country. Always remember that. Because we are so multi-talented. And it stems from our educational system. The way that our government have set up our educational system over the years is that when they're teaching our youths, we are touched upon several different skills and topics at the same time. So you might have a primary school child so versatile because they're learning cooking, they're learning sewing, they're learning all sorts of things, gardening, they're learning planting, they're learning farming. I say, our educational system has made our people generate a natural development of their gifts that God bless them with. They get to touch on everything. When you hear our children graduating from high school, is all 20 subjects they're passing, 22 subjects they're passing. Yeah? It's because our educational system has made it accessible for them to touch on several different skills and topics. So therefore, they are learning more than they need to know, even if it's the basic. But it gives them that knowledge of feeling that they can do it. And once they feel that they can do it, they expound upon it by practicing it. And with practice, you must get perfect. Yeah? With practice, you must get perfect. So then, you are now a person of human walking wealth. Because just yourself alone can earn. Just by being you, you can earn. Because if you go out there and somebody says, what can you do? And you can share what you can do because of what you have learned and have been practicing, then no money will come into your life there, so. Because people always want, but some people are so mean in sharing. Some people don't want nobody know what them can do because them feel them going to work them too hard or give them too much things to do. But it's cultural capital. So if you don't have any cash at that time and you need cash, sell your labor, sell your gifts, sell your talent, sell your hobby. Money must come. You understand? But the thing is, you have to go where people need that kind of labor. Yeah, you go around people like that. Some people are very selfish and mean because instead they get the talent, they get the ability because they get the opportunity to go to school and stuff and learn how to do all these things. But kill me dead if they want to share it with anybody else. And if they're sharing it with them, they have this mentality, this kind of mean mentality where them say, I am helping you up and you're going to get bigger. They don't realize that them getting big too, because they collect money also that they can invest in themselves too and fix themselves. But the brain, because of, I guess some people have a bad gene, them call it bad breed, where they're fretting over other people elevating themselves and not realizing it's a elevation that happens for everybody. Once you are elevating, another person elevates along with you. It's a chain reaction. Yeah? Just as I said, some people is like, but Chris, you need to go and get a group of this and go in the classroom and teach this and go more and more. And I'm like, no, if I help one person, that's a lot to me. Because that's just the philosophy I live by. I might teach to a group of people and nobody not understand but one person. I'm satisfied with that because guess what? That one person can pass on the message of what they understand correctly to another. And it becomes a chain reaction. So therefore, I did not just help one person. I see myself as helping many people. Just because I recognize a one person that get help. Yeah? So, when I have my partner with me, my husband, yeah? And he's into my life. It's hard for him to understand my culture, my way of doing things, because he sometimes chooses not to want to understand or not to want to listen to whatever I am saying because he feels I am trying to get into his brain to brainwash him to make him start thinking like Babylon people system. So he's always as if, saying, Rastafari teach we how to be independent. Rastafari teach we how to have we own. Rastafari teach we how to be we own boss and we not to follow people. And me don't know how to follow people and this. So I'm like, nothing is wrong with that. That's beautiful. That's great teaching. Because I actually believe in some of that teaching as well. That Rastafari teaches their people how to farm the land and earn for themselves and build up them family and produce for the nation and all those little things. So I can relate because I think the same way. Farm your land. But he is scared that when I'm telling him to think Babylon system way now, I am going to get him to the point where he's going to start following a set of people who are going to enslave themselves back into slavery. And that is not where black people wants to go. Well, believe me, I'm not telling black people to go there either. I'm not telling black people that they need to enslave themselves. I am just saying that if you cannot do things on your own with the gifts and the talents and the abilities that God give you, then sweetheart, you might just have to sell a little of your labor. And slavery time is, when it was slavery time I'm talking, is when they work you without even giving you a payment. You work and you don't get anything back in return. That is slavery for those who are confused as to what people mean by being enslaved and being free. So it is impossible for black people to go back into that slave scenario like what used to happen back in the days when them packed the people them on the ships and the black people and whatever. Reason why I say it's impossible, it's because you as the black person would have to okay such a behavior to happen. Are we going to do that? Do you think black people want to enslave themselves again in that scenario? Are we really that lazy to say we are going to start setting up ourselves to be beaten and whipped to do something we don't want to do, to elevate another nation of people? And that's why I say it's impossible. But it will happen if black people are unaware of their abilities, their talents, their gifts, the culture capital that they possess, the wealth within them. If also that they are unaware of the history of where they're coming from as a black nation, how they rised from being enslaved. So therefore, it boils back down to education again. We have to educate our people properly so that they know their value. The human being is the value. Access your wealth within you. Yeah? Access your wealth. Share your talents. Help people, and you will be helped too. You can't elevate if you don't help someone in need to elevate themselves. You understand? Because everything is a chain reaction. So no need to worry about which leadership you have in, which leader you have into position, and whatever. The leader in position is who is going to represent the people, and they're going to represent the people beautifully, because I trust that we are all praying people who have contributed somewhat in making that person being up there in that leadership position. So whether we had voted for them or not, because of the things we say and the things we do, had made it possible for that particular person to be in that leadership position. So we have to stop thinking negatively all the time and fearful. Yes, it's good to can criticize, because out of criticism, you know, people and situations get better. So, critical analysis is always important also. So, nothing wrong with it. You can do your criticizing. But at the same time, recognize where when good things and positive things is happening too. And show your gratefulness. And you'll be surprised to see how much blessings fall on you. You're here, so don't worry about nothing, people. I love you. I love you. When I look, it's 1 hour talking to you for, It's a long time, and I get a lot of me, peeping on me up the rain, tear down the place outside, but I was just chatting away. Yeah. But it's good to share some of what you know, feed other people with some things, don't it? Yeah, one person can't have so much knowledge. We spend too much time in a school, in the class, spend how much money, but we learning. Might as well let out some on some people. And have a good day now. You're here loving enough. Take care of yourself now. Life is beautiful.